welcome everybody.
DreadLore.
We're playing a game tonight. DreadLore's the Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
The Red Writ. I would like to say that this is episode 19 of our podcast, and I would love to also say thank you, Bill, Andrea, Daniel, Drizzle, and Ken for being in this, as well as score by all lowercase letters and Mr. Interrupt. Special thanks to our Patreon, which we just kind of went by really fast. Patreon members. You can find us on patreon.com/DreadLore. Tim Roberts, Daniel Hulker, and Nostalgic are our supporters and lifelines and stuff. Special thanks to Couchfire Media, where we get some art media production, and Trois Productions for all of the content and all of the yummy, fun, exciting
those guys
things that happens. This is DreadLore's The Red Writ.
I was thinking about kicking those guys' ass. Terrible people. Jeez.
Terrible.
They suck.
Cool.
They suck bad.
Doing all kinds of stuff with that.
They're the worst.
All right. Anyway, hey everybody.
Hi. What's going on? Let's introduce ourselves. Start with Hulker.
My name is Daniel, and I play the character of Antoni Czerniak. Antoni Czerniak is currently a border guard, probably not for much longer. And also, in his past life, was an aspiring priest.
He likes to read books, yeah?
Likes to read books. Lots of books, especially ones in Latin. Especially ones that inspire others, let's say.
Right. It just happened to not be necromantic in nature.
And those two.
How about Drizzle?
I'm Drizzle. I play Simon Vincent. He is a hard-boiled detective who now is friends with a vampire group.
We don't like to call them vampires, really. They're creatures, okay?
Oh, they are sewer dwellers. I'll call them sewer dwellers. Because that's where they live.
They might prefer that. I mean, if you want to be classist about it, I suppose that's what Simon Vincent's all about. You know?
Hey, they call Londoners. Sewer dwellers are sewer dwellers.
Take pride in that. Andrea?
Yo, I'm Andrea Elliott Johnson. I play Leah Mizrahi, who is a former IDF soldier turned mom turned
murderer.
Yeah, mass murder, no big deal. It's fine. But, maybe she's having a crisis of conscience. Who knows? We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it sounds like she is. She has a daughter, yeah?
Yeah. Mariah Mizrahi, who is, she's definitely pretty on top of things for a 13-year-old. Though she clearly is starting to be traumatized by all the terrible things that are happening. Yeah, what could go wrong? It's fine. Probably
13
fine,
going
right?
on 35.
I like how every single time. I like how every single time you escalate, it's like, oh yeah, the trauma, of course.
Right, the trauma.
It is every single time.
Jeez. Yeah, and Ken is aging her photo. I don't know if you guys have noticed. The photo has changed a little bit here and there. Speaking
she's
of,
not the same girl as she were.
No. Ken.
My name is Ken. I apparently get fifth billing as Nord Zetterberg. Billing under NPCs is never good, but. I play this character Nord, who is clearly a little bit of a narcissist. Some would say a drug addict and a journalist. No. And he is currently a kidnapper. So whatever you want to call it, and a murder. Well, I wouldn't say
really
murderer.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
he's but certainly assisted.
He's more of like a murder red.
So could you call him a narcissist?
Oh.
Narcissist. Yes, definitely. He is a narcissist. That plays to his ego for sure.
Listen, it's not fifth billing. It's I just know that you're doing all the fancy stuff, and
So many fancies.
It's gonna be the contract. I go first.
There's
I'm
only
first.
one fancy.
Yeah, it's true. There's only one fancy.
Truth.
Yeah.
The fancy diner. But you guys have not. You've forsaken the fancy diner. It seems.
Does anybody
Eunice?
remember? Yeah, I was gonna say, but then you said I was
It's
gonna.
My
fine.
bad.
All those people in that building are probably fine. It's
Anybody
okay.
remember Eunice?
Yeah,
She's
anybody
missing us
remember
at this point.
Fine.
Yeah, you guys remember Rebecca Foster? Remember that
Yep.
one chick that
Oh yeah.
Nord hit it and quit?
I think she
I
quit.
did kind of
him.
forget
It
about her
wasn't-
actually.
It wasn't that he quit her. I think she was upset because he kind of, he was gone in the
middle
morning.
of the night.
Yeah. He was gone in the morning. But I mean,
I think that's the
Busy life.
definition of hitting it and quitting.
maybe.
I'm pretty sure. I was gonna get back to it.
But
there's a point.
but she
There's a point.
she did give Nord crabs. So
Yeah, truth.
I
But
mean,
technically,
not
Nord didn't know that.
yeah, not until she said it out loud
Yeah, she did.
to him.
She did say that.
So that's kind of a mean thing to do. I mean, if she knew before, you just don't do that. You
Well-
got to clean your stuff.
In the in truth, she didn't. And then during that session, someone said she did, and I just kind of went with it because it was funny.
It's very possible that she got the crabs from Nord, but he's going to blame her.
maybe.
on it.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens. That's what happens. So speaking of, wow, that's a recap. Let's talk a little tiny bit about this game, what this game is we're playing. So it's DreadLore. DreadLore is a game system, and this campaign is the Red Writ. The Red Writ.
The Red Writ.
It's in 1982 Detroit. Think of it like a little Monster Hunter game. The players are seeing some wacky stuff out of the blue, and it seems that there's different factions that are after each other, and these guys are smack dab in the middle of it. Last, we left our group of intrepid investigators. They were in a sewer being attacked by what Drizzle is calling vampires, which are totally vampires. Beneath, they were in the Prohibition tunnels between this jazz club called the Blue Note, secretly. The actual name is called the Hideaway. Between the jazz club and the river, and a specific place called Bell Island, where they think some occultist stuff is going on, and these guys are trying to stop whatever that is. They think the bad guy is a woman named Lady Callie. There's a group of secret Illuminati detectives that wear blue gloves, 2x2 hands of blue. If you get the reference, you get a pip. And last game, they ran back up into the jazz club to stop this jazz singer's set. A woman named Levi. Nord specifically was under the impression, very convinced that Levi had a siren song. She was going to somehow entrance everyone and cause a ritual to go down. And so he basically beat her up and kidnapped her. Then Leah...
He didn't beat her up.
Yeah, she's roughed up. Then Leah set the building on fire. So that's where we are. Lots of people stampeding each other because it's packed to the brim. They're all in questionable clothing, occultist robes and such. There was blood everywhere. Definitely something going down. And the building's on fire. The group has escaped out the back, jumped in the U-Haul, we'll call it. And
Yeah.
may have omitted the body, the bleeding body on the stage.
Yeah, there was a bleeding body on the stage.
Fine.
Cheers. You guys get into this. What is it called? It's not a U-Haul. It's just a truck.
It's a delivery truck.
Delivery truck. Thank you. Sometimes
box
it's
truck.
easier. It's a box truck. And you're in this little alley. I don't know who's driving, but if you've ever tried to back one of those things up, it's hard. Meanwhile, the building is catching fire. This is the second building structure fire you all have caused within the last 2 hours or so.
Close.
That's true.
So that is where we're going to start. If you want to roll it, Ken, if you have any intro you need to do.
No, I think one of the issues that we have is that I can't do playback on on the intro in this moment.
Okay.
We'll fix that. We'll fix it in time. Next time. Next time.
You guys might notice. Go on.
We'll fix it in post.
You guys might notice that our technology is slowly but surely upgrading. Ken's camera is sexified. Holker's audio is quite different, and my camera is slightly better. Cheers. Andrea has on ears, and Drizzle has a shitload of weapons in the back.
Yes, let's be real. Cat ears are always an improvement. So.
Agreed. All right, that's where we were, and now we'll start. Normally, I have a little bit of a buffer here, but that's okay. Any questions? Anything to add before we go into it?
Yeah, I have something to add.
Oh, yeah. Who's our sponsor?
Okay. Tonight's sponsor is the Winesburg, Ohio Vampire LARP.
God.
The Winesburg, Ohio Vampire LARP is a Requiem live-action role-playing game that has been going on for 7 entire weeks now. They want to let everyone know that Larry from the Winesburg Parliamentary LARP, who sponsored the last After Hours podcast on Thursday, is weird. And after 3 sessions at the Vampire LARP, was told to leave after playing a gangrel and not showering over that entire time to be more realistic. Larry wasted no time in putting himself Prime Minister at his Parliamentary LARP, and some of the players at that LARP left soon after realizing that none of them would ever be Chancellor of the Exchequer. The Winesburg, Ohio Vampire LARP is way better, and the location has heating in the winter along with a couch.
Is it Camarillo?
No.
Good. Troop LARPs are better than not. Okay, y'all. I've never played in a LARP, and I definitely never ran one.
Me neither.
Nope, you weren't there. So, we find ourselves in the montage. So there's no bidding. There's no need to throw down dice. You guys are backing up the box truck. Who is in the driver's seat?
I am.
Simon Vincent, you're in the driver's seat backing this thing up. I'm assuming that Simon can drive this. It's a little tricky going through, what these fellas do when they go into these alleyways. It's impressive. Anyway, you are backing up. It's got the beep, beep going on, incessantly echoing down the hallways. There's a pitter-patter on the windshield as it begins to rain, big splotches of rain. The kind of rain where the storm is not just above you. It's sploosh, sploosh, pop, 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 pop. It's the wind blowing the rain. You guys have seen this several times in the last few days. All of you can realize there's going to be a mighty storm. Maybe it'll blow over. Maybe not. So, in the truck, where are you guys? This is a box truck. We'll say that the cab and the back, do they connect? Let's have a fucking roll. We'll say Simon, do you want them to connect or not?
I would say no. Most delivery box trucks don't. But
All right, so we'll decide if that's a thing. Nord, would you like to roll a d12, and Simon, call it.
I'm gonna go low.
It is low.
Boom. This box truck turns out you used to have one. Maybe you drove one at some point. So you know exactly how it works. And yeah, where are you all in the truck? You can be in the back. You could be on the hood. You can be wherever you want.
Can I spend a pip to say this is one of those box trucks that has a access door on the side?
To the back?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So Leah's you're like sort of leaning up against the wall by the door.
Okay, so you're actually in the
box truck.
the back part of it.
Yeah.
You're not in the cab itself. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll say that Mariah is back there with you. Where are the rest?
Mariah was in the cab with me.
Oh, is she? Okay, then
Last time
she's riding bitch with you. Next to you. Where are the rest of you?
I would imagine Nord is with his victim, his kidnapping victim.
Oh no.
Yeah, you in the back?
In the back.
Don't say it
He's
like
got-
that.
He's got her drugged up.
Yeah. What did you drug her with? Oh, you forget me a lot, right?
Forget me a lot. I mean, so she's not gonna be able to like place us. I mean, we kind of went full on Cosby last episode. So. But in a completely in a completely altruistic way.
We were doing it for her own good.
We were doing it for her own good and the lives of all the people in there. I mean,
Trigger warning.
You see, kids.
Oh, God. All right, I'm gonna go get some bourbon for this one. I'll be right back.
That's probably a good idea.
I really am gonna get some bourbon here in a second because we're going hard in the paint. Before that, though, when is the next ad, Drizzle?
23 minutes.
Oh God! All right, we can make that long.
It runs before that, but
Oh, good. You can always run it too. You could run like a minute ad. Anyway, where are you, Holker? Your character's name is Tony.
Tony is probably in the back.
Okay, so here's the better question. Actually, all right, you guys have already answered. Simon, you and Mariah are up front in the cab. In the back of the truck, you can hear everyone else kind of talking or shuffling around as you back this bitch up. Everyone else in the back of this truck. So I don't know if you've ever stood in a moving vehicle. It's really hard to keep your balance. What is in the back of this truck? Let's go around to describe it. We'll start with Andrea.
There's going to be a handful of boxes that they didn't have time to offload before we interrupted the proceedings.
Okay. Yeah, there'll be a handful of boxes. There'll be kitchen goods, so like some vegetables, and there'll be a squat box. It's made of wood. It looks just like a big crate, except it's completely sealed. Has a big old padlock on it. Looking at it, it looks like it's hermetically sealed, and it's kind of cool to the touch. Holker, what else is back here?
A paint can.
Like a big one?
No, I mean one that you just kind of carry up by yourself.
Yeah, we'll say that it's black paint can.
Yeah.
Nord.
Hopefully some rope and maybe
Now, why would there be rope back there?
I don't know, just to tie everything
I will
to keep
say-
the boxes from like sliding around.
There's also a
I-
machine gun.
I know,
Flamethrower, too.
to strap everything down because you got to
So-
like you don't want the boxes to be sliding around or anything. So it's
Like
all
those
these boxes are like
to back up what he says
tied
and
in.
clarify, I will say that there would likely be, just because, having worked in a lot of box trucks, there will likely be, instead of rope, there'd probably be like ratchet straps.
yeah, ratchet. Well, this is the 80s. Did they have ratchet straps in the 80s?
I would think so. But I don't know.
They're
That's
probably
interesting. I don't
more
actually
difficult
know.
to use than they are today.
What he's talking about, ratchet straps now are difficulty.
Fair.
So there'll be an array of ratchet straps and maybe
Yeah,
some
right.
rope as well.
Yeah, ratchet straps. I mean, I get it. Foodstuffs. It's probably cold. It's probably
there'll be-
refrigerated. I'm guessing.
There'll be a few jump seats. So, but there's no seat belts, of course. Also, as you all are standing, we'll say that you're closer to the cab, so closer to the middle of the vehicle. Also, in the floor next to, all the way back in the middle of the floor, there is a black plastic bag. Looks like a very large duffel bag.
Cool.
Okay. Action is on Simon and Mariah. What y'all doing? We're in the montage presently.
Oh, Mariah, buckle up. We're gonna head on to the island.
We're going to the
Be
island.
prepared.
Yeah, you can have a little if you want to be able to talk.
No.
Slide thing.
I'll have it open. We're headed to the island. That seems to be where these other cars are going as well. We need to get there and come up with a plan.
Actions
on
on
the
all of
way.
you.
I bet the plan is to get rained on more.
I think
Border guard at its best, right there.
Nord is doing his best to calm down. Probably a very frantic and concerned jazz singer.
You notice that Levi has sat down on one of the jump seats. She is a little bit bruised up from being, manhandled out the door. She's got this heavy lidded look to her. Her hair's all wild and messed up and kind of like in her face a little bit. She's actually very quiet, as though she has been drugged. And she's every so often she'll kind of look around at you all, but her eyes are not really focusing.
Sure. And does the Forget Me Lot have properties to like a truth serum-esque thing, or do you think that if I kind of did a little mild interrogation with her, that would be appropriate?
Well, you should look up Forget Me Lot in the DreadLore core book.
I think it just makes you forget, but you guys talk amongst yourselves and I'll look at that.
Yeah.
Leah
all doing?
will go over. Leah will actually go over to the bag, having sort of noticed it, but not worried about it when we were in the, leaving. She'll go over to the bag and try to open it up and see what's in it.
Yeah, you go over there and you see that it has a long zipper. It's a really large duffel. Maybe 6-7 feet in length.
Wow. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. What are the rest of you doing, Tony, as this is happening?
I'm gonna go check and see if my flashlight still works. I have a feeling I'm gonna need it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does it have batteries?
Yes.
It works.
Yeah. Hey, why is it? Do you all ever notice that bad weather just keeps following us around?
Actions on you guys.
No one else? Oh, I guess it's just me.
Mariah, you hear her small voice from the front. Yeah, no joke. It's raining again. You can hear the pounding of the rain on the shell of this thing, and you guys are inside. It's almost like an echo chamber. You find that when you talk, you actually have to almost yell to hear each other. In the cab, it's not nearly as bad. Leah, you open up the bag, and you see a pair of legs. Do you keep on opening the bag?
Leah will actually, at this point, you'll see her sort of close her eyes and take a deep breath, and then just sort of open it, and then zip it the rest away open.
As Nord, you're sitting there talking maybe to Levi. You notice that she looks over, and her eyes kind of get big for a second, as perhaps your gaze follows. And Tony, as you turn around and see Leah unzip this bag, it has actually several things in it. It looks like these metal rods with some sort of equipment that's been disassembled. It looks industrial in nature, and on top of them is the presumably dead and or sleeping body of a young woman. Leah, she looks dead as a doornail.
Where'd you get that, Leah?
It was already in here. Leah will. Is she on her stomach or?
Yeah, she's on her stomach. She is clothed, early 1980s wear. So it'll be like stockings that come up, like big socks, and I don't know, like a skirt of some sort and a jumper.
That equipment looks like some of it looks like
Big
we
hair.
could actually use it as a weapon if we had to.
That's not really my concern at the moment. Leah will turn her over, and so she's on her back.
You see how she died. Her throat is very, very cut.
Does it
happened?
look like a clean cut or?
Mm-hmm. Looks like a clean cut. Her eyes are open. There's actually not a lot of damage at all on her body, save for the very noticeable wrong on her neck.
Leah will close her eyes and say, "Well, at least it was a clean cut, and it should have been a quick death."
You do. She looks like she's about maybe 20 years old. It's kind of hard to place. She could be a little bit younger.
Leah will search through her pockets or anything to see if she has any kind of identification.
As Leo, you're starting to search through her pockets, you will find some stuff. What are the rest of you doing?
Talking to Levi.
Look, we better find a good place to park this. We better be sure that we can lock it.
Levi. Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, honey.
We just barely made it. They were rioting. Why were they rioting? Where do you want us to drop you off? Where do you want us to take you? Where are you supposed to be right now?
I don't know rightfully where I am. I was supposed to be on stage. She looks at you kind of dreamily.
The bar caught on fire, and there was a mob. They were trampling over each other. Just everybody was losing their mind.
She
Does that
looks
happen?
confused.
Yeah.
Like she's not following what you're saying.
Yeah. All right.
What is that young lady? Is she sleeping?
Yeah, she's not feeling too well right now. Well, think about where you want to go, and we'll drop you off. Where were you going after the?
Don't be sleeping, young child. I'm about to go on.
Where do you usually go after you sing? What do you do after?
She kind of like looks at you. The green room. And then we usually stay quite late at the Blue Note.
Was this Well, I'm sorry that all this went down like this. I can't believe that everybody was acting like crazy like that. We'll make sure that you get home safely.
As you're interacting with this NPC and ostensibly trying to get information out of her, we will go into the Dread. Simon, you have a choice to make. You can go deeper into the alleyway and hopefully it pops out on another side street, or you can attempt to back this thing up into the main street where you guys saw the front door. The caveat there is that's where everyone's running out from.
Can I spend a narrative point to say that there is a going forward, there's a way out?
There is. You can do that.
Okay.
As you go forward, you just do like a 3-point turn and you start going forward. It's a bit of an annoying alleyway, and there's maybe a moment where it's quite tight. You're blocking the mirrors and such, and Mariah's hanging out her head, trying to help you. But lo and behold, you see a car or two zoom, zoom, go across, and you realize there is an out.
Okay.
Actions on you all.
Once we get out of the alleyway and Mariah's done helping me, Mariah, open up that glove compartment and see if there's anything in there that could be worthwhile.
All right. As she goes for it, it's locked.
Well, now's a good time to test out your skills.
Ooh.
It's
Do you want
it's
to
like
go on?
it's like the bigger locks, but with it being smaller, you have the pins are a little closer together.
Do you want to bid Mariah to do this?
I would prefer she threw down.
Okay.
Well, just because I want to see her skills. Kind of.
Leah, will you roll a d10? And Holker. Ha ha ha. Give me a second. Let me find what her stoof is. Holker, will you roll me a d8?
D8, coming right up.
Coming right up. Is that successes or is that the number?
You're muted.
You're muted forever.
4.
Okay. Oh, wait. Is that successes or the die?
Just the die. Just the die.
Okay.
Yeah.
One success.
All right. As Simon, you see Mariah deftly pop this thing open. As she looks disappointed, she kind of looks over at you sidelong, very similar to her picture, and says, "That was really easy." And she smiles as she pops it open. You see a couple of things. Ding, ding. It makes the sound that all glove compartments do when you let them drop. Brrr. Couple things. A few papers, a gun, clank, 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 clambers out onto the floor. And this is one of those large, box van glove compartments. So like you could fit like, a small dog in there or a human head.
And it's a human head.
As a human head, decapitated, kind of off to the side. Let's roll a high or low. We'll say Leah, will you? That's the face you should be making. That's the face the head's making. Roll a d12, and Simon, you can call high or low to see if Mariah is looking or not.
Let's go with low.
2. So yes, it was low.
As Simon, you see this human head looking at you. Mariah's looking at you, though, not the head. As it all falls down, and she goes, "Yeah, why would they make these locks so much
don't
easier?"
worry, there's nothing in there, and I'll reach over and slam it real quick.
What do you bid?
I will bid resilient.
As you do, You close the glove compartment, gunk, gunk, and the head kind of sticks a little bit, and you like, boom, boom, ga-ding.
Yeah.
Mariah, however, she's crawled up on top of your back as you leaned over, and she's looking out the window both ways, just continuing to help.
We clear? BB?
Yeah. She turns around,
All right.
not seeing this, although the gun is in the floorboard.
Yeah. As we pull out, I'll pull out slowly onto the street and be like, Mariah,
Yeah.
pick up that gun and be careful with it and tell me if it's loaded. You remember
I know how to
look?
use a gun.
Okay.
Do you know who my mom is? As
Yeah,
she goes to pick up this 9mm looking gun in the back. Actions on you guys.
I was still searching that woman's pockets.
She looked through. You do find her billfold, or it'll be like a little. It won't be a billfold. What am I thinking? Be a little purse.
A clutch or something.
A clutch. Yeah.
Cool.
And some money.
He can to just make her feel as comfortable as possible.
What do you bid to do that, Nord?
It's whatever I can do to make her think that I'm on her side. So I'm trying to make an ally out of her.
Mm.
So I'm gonna say we are gonna just do. Oh shit! I didn't. I printed out a new character sheet and.
Oh, you did.
And all of the uses aren't there, and so I know I've used something, and I don't want to use the same thing twice because you can't do that.
Oh.
I'm gonna bid my addict ability to just kind of talk her through comfortably this trip that she's on.
Yeah,
talk her through the high. It's like, I don't know what they were doing in there, but you're safe now, and we're gonna get you home.
They were getting ready to get down, get underneath it.
It was a mob scene for sure.
Well, of course it was, honey. I mean, if I don't sing, they go wild.
Is it like that every night? You don't?
Oh, no. Only special occasions.
Yeah?
I don't like to go every night. It's too hard on the soul.
Well, I'm serious
Ages
about...
ya.
I'm serious about getting you a record produced. I think you've got the voice of an angel. You were singing to me earlier, and it was just amazing.
She smiles up at you. She has a very alluring smile.
That is...
Leah
she really
hearing
appreciates your words. Go on.
Leah, hearing this conversation, after she's sort of done searching through this woman's pockets, she'll sort of glance over her shoulder and say, "So, that girl on that spike, those are some pretty wild special effects."
Roll a d6 and we'll see how much money this cadaver had on it.
Okay.
As you say that aloud, Tony, of course you hear it, and Nord. Levi kind of turns.
This is the first I heard about the spike, so...
Oh, yeah, sure, you were there for that.
I didn't see that.
I don't use any special effects. Maybe some lights and I suppose a fog machine from now and then.
Oh, I see. So you put the real girl on a spit then.
She just kind of like dreamily looks over at you. It's hard to tell if she even understands what you're saying.
Well, that's certainly some dedication to your craft. It's commendable.
I'm going to kind of make sure she's okay and take a step back and sort of under my breath talk to everybody else in there. You guys, you can't let her sing. If she sings, she's going to hurt you. How
are you doing this without her hearing?
About her voice. Well, maybe I'll pull out something shiny No. I'll bid Crowbear. I'll just kind of like get her to lay back and kind of rest. She's in a fog, so I'm not super worried about her being able to hear me. It's just a low voice. It's a loud truck. It's raining. So I mean, I'm just gonna leave her alone for a second on that side of the in the back,
and kind of get everyone together,
and then move forward and kind of say like, she can't sing. She will fuck you up.
Yeah, we'll look.
And there was a dead person on the stage. What's going on there?
Leah will sort of ignore your question for a second after you say that you can't let her sing, and look down at the corpse for a second and say, "Well, we could just give her a similar treatment to this one."
I don't think
Tony,
that's necessary.
Leah, and Nord, you're all standing in a semicircle with your backs to Levi. You can still see her, peripheral vision and whatnot. At your feet is a dead woman, eyes closed, in a big rucksack with all this hardware. Thunderous rain is coming down. The truck has started moving. Simon, you're going towards Bell Island. As the action's on you, you can continue.
Leah will sort of unfocus. Is our turn or sorry?
Yeah, it's all you guys.
Okay. Leah will sort of pause for a second, then turn back. Yes, there was a woman on a spike in the middle of the stage.
Okay, these people are fucked up. So how many is that? Is this the fourth person that Lady Callie has been kind of remotely? This is her doing, right? Am I alone on thinking this? Is this someone else? Like Lady Callie and her assistant, the Commodore. I mean, I don't think those basement dwellers had anything to do with it, and the Blue Man Group certainly didn't want to come over and mess with this either.
Basement dwellers?
Oh yeah, we found some people in the basement. I might have caused a little mass death, but
Just a little mass death.
but it wasn't like they were good people. I mean, if
dwellers?
No, the basement dwellers are fine. We only killed one. We only killed one of the basement dwellers. No, there was an orgy going on, and we clued the basement dwellers into the orgy, and they kind of mopped up the floor with those guys. They just
a bunch of hobos attacked an orgy.
Yeah, kind of.
Kitchen.
You get a pip for that?
No, it's from a movie.
Is it?
Fuck.
Yeah. I forget the name of it. We will have sex in your car again. I can't remember. We call it a soup kitchen.
Well, it's
I can't remember the name of that movie. It's so good though.
I have
a
to
lot
say,
of people. Go ahead, Tony.
As crazy as what Nord has said, that's what happened.
And then there were 3 dead people in the office. I mean, I don't know. There's definitely a serial killer on the loose here.
Oh yeah, the people in the office. I did that.
Well, one of them might have been me.
Well, we got blood on our hands tonight. I don't know if we're the good guys or not at this point.
By the way, Leah, I thank you for what you did in the room. That.
What should we do with
course.
this girl? I don't think we should kill her. I don't think any of these people are bad. I think they're just on drugs. I mean, yes, I drugged this one, But I think I think all the other ones are on some kind of drug. Maybe there's a drug in the water or something.
I'll give you a pip for that. That's pretty good.
I
Take
think that's a far too easy explanation. Leah will actually turn and walk over towards Levi and sort of
She's
kneel
laying
on
back.
the ground in front of. Well, she'll kneel on the ground in front of her and grab her hands.
You do. You see her hands. They're kind of rough, the palms, and she has several rings like on her fingers. I mean, she's, imagine a jazz singer who is rather popular. She looks like a pretty upcoming musician, perhaps. Interesting jewelry. It's all silver with stones and such in it. Both hands. There's some tattoos. You note she's got long sleeves on, so a little jacket, and you notice that she actually has tattoos that run up and down her arms.
Leah will sort of squeeze her hands to get her attention focused back on her, and Leah will look at her and say, "Why did you all have that one girl on stage killed?"
Levi, you take her hand and, she involuntarily squeezes your hand, or reflexively, I should say. She looks down at you. Her head is, leaning back against the cushion of this jump seat. Almost looking down her nose. Her eyes look sleepy like a cat. She doesn't seem to understand what you're saying. Or if she does, she's not having much of a reaction to it. Do you bid anything or...
Yeah, I will bid. What do I have left? I will bid Masad for this one.
Okay, how is that going to apply for this one?
Well, because part of the training was being like an interrogator. So, like, understanding how to manipulate people into giving you the answers that you want.
So would you say, what is the technique you're actually pulling here?
I'm being far more direct than probably she would expect at this point.
Kind of like throwing her off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also being direct in a strangely compassionate way that makes no sense for the situation.
Sure. Throw down. Hulker, will you roll me a d12? And Nord, will you roll me a d10?
Let's see. For this one, I'm going to go... Okay, I was going to say, for this one, I'm going to go with wits, I think?
Yep.
So that is... I'm going to re-roll. Because that is currently no successes, so... I'm going to use expression and fabrication for this. Well, that's one success, so...
Remember, there's degrees of success and failure. One success, she dreamily looks at you. She says, squeezing your hand, her hand is warm, but almost like in cocoon. You can feel like a life energy to her. There's a vitality to this woman. You can sense on some level, however Leah would do it. Maybe because since you bid massage, you're able to size her up by these reactions and touching her. You can tell Levi has an incredibly strong will. And for a moment, there's the question of, did she even know the look she gives you? Now, you bid Masad. She could be lying. Now, this is not necessarily, let me do a caveat really quick, or an aside. This is not necessarily saying she's lying. It's not necessarily the time to pull out a laser sword and decapitate her, okay? Just saying. It's not what I'm saying here. You can't do that. You can do that.
She's not on a spaceship.
Just saying. Just because she might be lying doesn't mean she is.
There are different. There's degrees. There's a range. There's a degree here of what that situation is and what this situation is. And this is a little bit lower in impact.
You see Nord? Okay, I pull out my laser sword. I fucking cut her in half, man. Sorry.
I think if Leah attacked her in this moment, Nord would stop.
Good to know. Leah, what I'm trying to get at is she could be that good, since you bid Mossad, this could all be an act. However, what your gut would tell you with one success, it's not. She's drugged, she's feeling good, and you keep on saying this thing about a woman being killed on stage, and it's like it's not getting to her what you're saying. Like it's like when someone is, you expect them to be speaking Spanish, but they're speaking English, and you're like, wait, what? But they're literally speaking English, and your brain's just not on the same wavelength. That's what it's coming off at. As she says, well, I have lots of musicians that help me, and ever so often, there's one of the dancers that comes up. I think we had a couple tonight.
Leah will again close her eyes and sort of try and calm herself for a second. Listen to me, Levi. There was a woman on the center of your stage, and she was ran through her middle, bleeding out all over the stage. She was on a spike like a roasted pig. I saw her bleeding and her blood pooling over the stage onto the floor below. I want to know why.
Leah, as you describe the scene and remember it vividly, flashes of it flash in your mind. You see the woman's face, woman in her mid-20s perhaps. She actually looks familiar. Perhaps you've seen her like when you've gone to the gym. Pretty sure you have. Young industry worker, bartending, that kind of stuff. She looks at you in this image. Make a sanity roll. As thunder peal shakes the sky, up front, Simon, are you moving fast? You driving fast, or are you
No.
Casually?
Yeah, I would be doing the speed limit. Also knowing that there are people in the back and that it's hard to stay standing in a box truck.
What are you going to bid to keep things casual and so they can actually stand up and not have much of a problem doing so?
I'm going to bid streets.
As you're taking, go on.
Oh, just streets, because I know the streets around here. I can judge the driving the vehicle and hopefully miss potholes and that sort of stuff.
You notice the little digital clock on this newfangled box truck. It's got a cassette tape. It's new. It clicks to midnight. Mariah looks over at you. Why aren't we going faster? Don't we have to speed up?
We don't want to knock them down back there. It's hard to stand up on a moving vehicle.
Oh. rain's picked up. You're not driving too terribly fast, so you can still see, but it's coming pretty straight down. Several cars out. You see their headlights, of course, in the rain. Nighttime, it's midnight. As you're going down the main road of the Jefferson Corridor. You turn and you're heading directly towards the abandoned marina. You'll probably get to it. You can gauge, since you bid streets, within 5 minutes, maybe 10, depending on how you drive.
Okay, I'm gonna bop. Guys, we're about 5 minutes out. We got to figure what we're gonna do. I'll park about a block away from the marina.
Does Nord know how much longer Levi's going to be drugged?
Did you give her a full dosage?
Yeah, I probably gave her just enough of a dosage because I really don't necessarily want her to remember me because kidnapping's no joke.
A full dosage of this stuff essentially lasts an encounter.
Yeah.
So this would be considered the same encounter.
Yeah. Okay. Tony, is there a place we can drop this woman around here? Maybe in between here and the marina where she'll be safe. Maybe a place with not too many people. Say just a few people. Like, do you have a friend you can maybe who doesn't have a car? I think if we think about this like chess, this is maybe, I don't know, a bishop or something. Well, getting her off the board.
I don't think of a bishop in chess. I think of a bishop as my former boss. But that said, look, I know a place. I'm going to bid local, by the way.
Yep.
And there is a place.
Yeah.
It is.
No, I think I don't want to be responsible for another person's death. I don't know. I don't believe that she is a conspirator necessarily knowingly. I think she's just a singer who's been cast and doesn't have will. And I think that's something we should all think of as we proceed. We have will, but the people that we're fighting against, they have some kind of crazy mind control.
You don't care about the place?
No, I do care about I don't like. Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, if it's some divey little apartment of a guy who doesn't have a car or a phone, that would be perfect. Just get her off the board.
Yeah, I do. I
and somebody who won't take advantage of this woman that we've clearly.
I know a couple. They live in an apartment.
Tell Simon.
Huh?
Tell Simon.
I know of a couple. They live in an apartment not too far from here, about a quarter mile. And they were coming back from Windsor one day, and I could have made their lives way worse. But I didn't. Feeling very forgiving. I let them through, and I looked the other way, and they said they owed me big.
Perfect.
Leah, what did you get for your sanity? I didn't see you.
I got 2 successes.
As these flashes go before your, in your mind's eye, you find yourself almost sitting back on your heels. Just for a moment, you kind of blip. You're still aware of what's going on. You don't lose any derangements or anything like that, or gain any derangements. but the eyes were haunting. She was alive. In a great deal of pain, but at the same time, ecstasy. And as you kind of come to, shaking it off, you see Levi looking at you, heavily lidded eyes. There's a smile playing on her lips, just barely. She's musing over you. You might interpret it as something nefarious. You could also interpret it as she seems older than you. It's hard to place her age, but maybe she likes you, as in like she's doting on you a little bit. A weird kind of kindness and accepting nature she has. As you still have her hand, and she's holding onto yours with some strength. Are you all right, honey?
That seems like a rather silly question, don't you think?
I suppose in these times, it is silly. There's a lot of hurt in the world, above and below.
It seems to me that the people you're working for are causing quite a lot of it.
She actually kind of chuckles. People can be misguided. As you notice, Leah, in the time that you've been talking to Levi, Tony and Nord are still, they've moved over to where the body is and are talking with their backs turned as you all turn and can see each other. Simon takes a turn. It's the main turn towards the marina. Got about 5 minutes before you get there.
Well, I'll head to where Tony was telling me.
Okay. Action's on you guys. What do you do?
I'll go back and sit with Levi and this aide Leah. If I did I notice that she had a moment, or
It's up to you.
I always, Nord has a certain amount of paranoia that he lives in, so he feels responsible for her, so he's gonna go back and hang with her and maybe examine her tattoos and kind of, I did Attic before, so I kind of know what she's going through, because I'm sure Nord has taken a couple of these just for fun, recreationally. And he I think I kind of want to examine maybe some of her jewelry and get some details of if there's any mysticism or any kind of symbolism that she wears on herself, to further understand what she's about.
Sounds good. As you're doing that, what do you bid?
I will bid Child of the World.
Leah, so you're all in very close quarters in concert with one another. This scene is really about you all and your own interactions. Obviously, Levi's there, and while Nord, you're looking at the tattoos and thinking about, the jewelry and such. Do you all interact in some way, or do we just need to go to the montage and to the next point?
I think the interaction would be so where are you from? What is your history? Where were you before?
So you're going to talk to Levi.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah,
and not the rest of the players. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to know. Which is the opposite of what I just said.
Sorry.
Hey, you all should play together is what I'm trying to tell you.
Did you are you okay, Leah?
Fine for now.
Leah does not look fine. Tony is standing there stoically while there's a dead body and hasn't even mentioned it. It is an incredibly weird situation.
Yeah, definitely.
Thundering rain everywhere, rocking back and forth, somewhat losing the balance. This woman who is out of it, sitting there. Leah's squatted down, kung fu grip on her hand, staring daggers at her. There's a dead body 3 feet behind you.
I might put my hand on Leah's shoulder gently and say, comfort her a little bit and say,
You actually, when you do that, you'll actually feel Leah flinch a little bit away from you before sort of calming down.
Mariah's going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We're going to figure this out. Leah.
When you say that, Leah will actually stand up a bit, still holding Levi's hands, and looking her dead in the eyes. And this time, Leah will actually squeeze Levi's hands a little too hard, not like trying to break the woman's hands or anything, but she'll say to her, "I'll stop Lady Callie. And if that means I have to kill her and all of her compatriots, I will."
Tony Nord, I'm going to let you react to that.
I have no doubt you will.
Nord, Andrea, I don't think these people, or Andrea, who is Andrea? Leah?
You have to take a drink. Clearly, you have to take a drink.
I don't think these people are. I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I don't think these people are inherently bad, Leah. I think there's some powers that be, but I don't think a killing spree is the answer. I really don't. And I feel bad for my part because I know I've played my part. But, this city's already suffering enough from the economy. The killing needs to stop. The economy. Someone who is out of a job for a long period of time. That's a bad economy. Someone coming back from the dead, showing up at your apartment, trying to take you out, and then everything else that we've seen, that's a little more serious than a bad economy. I think that there's so much misery in this town that it's letting forces that are beyond our ability or knowledge step in and take control. And I don't believe that Levi is evil, just as much as I don't believe that a lot of the people that we've run across that have done evil things to us. I don't believe Marcus is evil. I believe that we're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and there's some supernatural force at work here that we don't understand, and I can't explain it.
Look, Nord, these people, from what you told me, have at the very least killed my husband and are planning to kill my daughter. Oh,
your husband's not dead. He's sick.
I'm not stupid, Nord. We've seen what these people can do. We saw what happened to my friend Cloyce. Don't pretend, and don't lie to me or to yourself. We know what happened to my husband.
We don't know. We didn't investigate. We didn't stick around. We didn't want to fight him. But
he was throwing up an ocean, more or less, according to you all. I don't think one who is in a recoverable state is exactly able to do that.
Well, then maybe you can find peace. All I know is that reading Latin has never been so much fun in my entire life. It's exciting, Simon.
Anyway, I'm done with these people doing this. I'm not letting them hurt my daughter.
Well, I think we should focus on Lady Callie. I think she's the one that's causing the trouble. I think
And that is what I said, is it not?
Yeah. I don't know.
Look at us.
I really don't know.
Look at us. We're in this truck, surrounded by 4 walls, right? I see the first wall with an exit, a couple more walls with a window, and I just want to look at the 4th wall and then say, like and subscribe to the DreadLore podcast.
And join us on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard for our Kiki Gamer podcast.
Yeah, who knows we'll host or who will be there. It really is all up in the air at this point. So it's like an entirely different podcast where we talk about entirely different things. And sometimes DreadLore.
Sometimes.
Did I get any did I glean anything off of, of her? Okay.
As the Chuck's brakes squeak, Simon, as you get to the address that Tony gave you, you can go down this main alley. It's filled with potholes and, filled with water. It's gravel. Chain link fences all around. You're in the docks section. So it's warehouses and double wides and this kind of stuff. A lot of them are abandoned. This part of town is, as Nord has told you, and as what you well know, half the places are abandoned, half of it's squatters. There's crime, but it's not the worst part of town. It's just definitely not the nicest. It smells like a fisherman's wharf. You get gusts of it here and there.
Tony, we're here. This is where your friends live?
Oh yeah. Let me knock on the door.
Well, I'm gonna stay here with BB in the truck.
I'll take Levi and follow Tony.
Nord, as you're looking at Levi's jewelry, you notice it's immaculate. Silver work. It's all silver, kind of has, like some dark patina in it here and there. Weird different jewels. You bid what as you looked at this? Child of the World?
Child of the World, basically. It's just like he's been around the world and knows all these different stuffs about different things and stuffs.
Yeah, go ahead and throw down. To know all the bits and pieces, it's pretty high threshold. But you'll get some various information, obviously from just looking at it.
Can I use my camera?
Take a picture of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
So
as Nord, you pull out a camera and take the flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I didn't say. There'll be a couple lights on in the back here. Otherwise, you're just in the dark the whole time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, without a flash. I'll just bid the camera for an additional.
Leah, as you squeeze Levi's hands rather hard, she squeezes back. It's like when you give someone the good old Kentucky handshake and you match their strength. She easily matches your strength. As you look at her eyes, there's a moment of, huh? And same dreamy look. Nord.
We're talking about... Oh, go ahead.
I got an 11, so that's 4 successes.
Oh, 11 would be 2 successes.
Yeah, but I got 4 successes total.
Oh, I see, total. Yeah. And you got an 11 on a die?
Yeah, is that flare?
That's flare, baby. Yep, 10 up is flare.
Cool.
With 4 successes, you see she's got a lot of jewelry on. There's a couple silver bands on maybe the pinkies, ring fingers. They have scribbled writing on them, kind of hard to see what the writing is. They look very old. It could just be designs. There's a larger ring that you note it has this black opal. Perhaps it's an onyx. You're not sure what kind of stone it is necessarily. Looks real, looks expensive. And it's in the teeth. The clasp is a drake's teeth. So it's this ring where the drake is coming up like jaws and clamping down on this big black stone. There's one with, it's a snake, or perhaps it's a dragon's head. Maybe with 4 successes, perhaps it's something older. As it clues in your mind, it's a leviathan. And it has green eyes, emeralds in the eyes. And it's, as you look at it, it's incredibly ornate. The leviathan's head comes around, and the band itself is its body. As you see, it's wrapped almost like a Mobius strip. There's one smaller one. It's sort of these twisted brambles, kind of reminds you of seaweed or pine, something or another. And the one that seems rather interesting, it's on the thumb. At first glance, it looks like silver that's made to look like a cord of rope wound around itself. But as you investigate it with 4 successes, you see it's actually not rope at all. It's silver that it's tens of spears that are wrapped around intricately, and they have like little spearheads all around. The spearheads are strange too. They're almost like pole arm looking. Very odd piece of jewelry. As for her tattoos, unless you actually remove her coat, you can't really see them.
You can't see
but you
it.
can see the beginnings of them. She has 2 large bands on her wrists, almost like a genie might have. They're large and sort of a black green. On her ebony skin, the black is kind of a dark green, and they're rather thick. You see, just underneath the clothes, ornate writing that moves up, or perhaps it's like almost like a wallpapery design that moves up. Nord's mind, being completely not sick, might wonder, how far down do the dots go?
He's probably wondering. Yeah, no, I'm sure it goes all the way. Just picturing it in my mind for sure. She
has some earrings and stuff too, and a
does
couple
anything
piercings.
seem like I'm gonna. Do any of these seem pretty loose on her? Like maybe I could take a piece of jewelry off of her.
She's kind of out of it. She's out of it, and Leah is got a kung fu grip on her, so yeah, it would be difficult.
So, I would like to try to bid. It's just because people get power from things, and I don't want to steal this forever. But I would like to bid altruist because he knows in his heart
that thievery is good.
that he will return these items back to her if he survives the night.
Sure.
Because
so
I feel like
the biggest
obstacle at this point.
The biggest obstacle that you have is Leah. As you turn toward seeing this, you're actually looking at Levi's hands because Leah is literally holding them.
Yeah. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to try to remove Levi and Leah's hands. I'm going to try and separate them. And as I try to separate them, I would like to bid sleight of hand to try and remove.
So this is between you and Leah right now. Because Leah has to agree to these things. So that's between you.
I'm gonna look at
Leah will let go over him.
Leah knowingly, but just kind of like use Leah's pulling it off, like pulling back, kind of, because Leah knows Nord, I would presume. And so I'm kind of
This is
hoping
all
that,
meta stuff. We don't give a shit. What happens in game between you two?
Yeah. I'm gonna kind of push on her hand, like a knowing push on the back of her hand, in kind of a weird way, and to hopefully notify her and
Between you and Leah?
pull some
Yeah,
sleight
Leah.
of hand.
Leah,
shit.
Leah will remove her hand from Levi's.
Nord is attempting to communicate something to you. What's that engagement between you look like?
I'm gonna hold her hand like for a moment and look into her eyes and be like, maybe give her a wink. I don't know, and a big smile.
Leah will actually Leah will she'll know what he's trying to get her to do, but even so, she'll look at him and say, just because I'm a widow now doesn't mean you get to proposition me. Anyway, she'll let go of Levi's hands and walk back over to the corpse.
You do. Tony's standing right there next to the corpse, looking at it.
Can I throw it down?
I drop this on the way to the island.
That sounds so wrong. Yeah, maybe. Give her a burial at sea or something, I guess. Anyway, Leah will actually start looking through the bag at what the equipment
The clutch.
is.
Oh, the bag itself. Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
throw it down, Nord. With sleight of hand.
It is 2 successes.
Two
just throwing
successes.
down.
As
But
you remove,
she is kind of still under the influence of some like
yeah, forget me a lot.
something.
All right. Nord, roll me a d6.
A D6. It's a 5.
You note the jewelry's rather. It fits on her hands.
Yeah.
But bidding sleight of hand and being rather good at this, and Leah using the situation to your advantage, you're able to wriggle free one of the rings. It is specifically the silver band that had some indistinct writing on it, just because it's so old and patinaed and worn down. As you wriggle that one off.
And he's just gonna pocket it, not look at it or anything.
Yep. Leah, you go over to the bag. You're looking in there. Looks like a bunch of heavy pieces of metal, few bits and pieces. What are you doing with this? Also, there's a dead body lying on it.
Well, I had moved her out of the bag and onto her back.
Oh, I see. So you kind of rolled her. Sure.
Yeah. Leah starts trying to piece together whatever this equipment is in her mind.
What do you bid?
And then
For this.
So Leah is aware the
Mhm.
ability Master at Arms is specifically for knowing how weapons work. In the event you wanted to do that, it actually doesn't give you a +2. It gives you extra dice, but we've been running it as a +2.
Okay.
The main thing though is you can still do that because that's how we've been playing it. But what it does is it means that Leah knows tons and tons and tons of martial weapons.
Okay. So I will go ahead and just bid. Can I just bid that ability?
Yep.
As opposed to then I will.
So you
bid
bid
that
it as a
ability.
trait. We wouldn't be
Yeah.
activating the ability itself though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you bid Master at Arms as you're looking at this. Immediately, Leah, this is definitely a weapon. You're not entirely certain what, but as you pick up this hefty piece of blackened metal, you realize it's likely a gun of some sort. As you look through the the bag, you see little wing things and screws to assemble this, and it looks like an emplacement weapon. Simon, it's been a while. Action's on you.
Are you guys going or what?
Is this
I'll hit again. Pop, pop, pop.
I'll help. Tony's in there with me. Tony, help me get her out.
All right.
You guys tell me what you do.
We're gonna carry her to Tony's friend's house, I think.
As you lift up Levi, she says, "Woo, whoopsie daisy," and kind of like trips over the body. Open up the back door. Tons of rain all over. You're going to be immediately wet. Utterly drenched. I notice far down the way, good half mile, you can see because it's a straight street, the main road. Every so often, this far out, a car, like every few minutes. You guys are rather remote out here. The street lights, you can see them behind the curtain of rain. Thunder rolls. Action's on you all.
Let's take her to your friend's house.
All right, let's go. Come with me.
I'm coming. I'm bringing her too.
Yeah.
Simon, you coming or you staying in the car with Mariah?
I'll stay up here. Hey, BB, was that gun loaded?
As Mariah looks at the gun, she checks, clears it. Yep. Locked and.
Yeah. Did the bullets have any of the special writing on it?
Well, I didn't look at that as she looks at the bullets. No.
Okay. Just checking.
I get the X's.
Oh, okay. That means they do more damage.
As this 13-year-old has a gun. Children should not have guns. Continue.
oh, I feel attacked now.
Just
I
saying.
think if a
Leah.
kid is taught how to use a gun properly, and I don't think that's a terrible thing. I don't think they should be able to go and play with their friends with guns. Adult supervision is probably pretty much recommended.
We are all from Kentucky.
Simon is wonderful adult supervision, clearly.
Yeah, Simon knows how to use a gun properly.
Yeah,
he knows
he's
how to
doing
clean it. He knows how to he knows how many bullets you can put in there, whether it's a magazine or one of those clips. He knows those things.
Speaking of which, Leah actually starts looking through the bag and looking to see if she finds any ammunition for this.
You don't find any.
Interesting. At this point, Leah... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was going to say, at this point, Leah will actually start looking around the rest of the back to see if anything
You notice
looks
what
out
I
of place.
described when you first got in.
Well, yeah, but did she notice anything that... In terms of the how should I put this? Does she notice anything about the boxes that are there that look out of place?
I'm going to let you guys decide that.
I think the duffel bag looks out of place.
Well, obviously,
No.
but
Or there is the locked box that is cool to the touch.
Yeah, there's a locked box. Yeah. Who knows what that is?
The
That could
one
be like the little-
that's hermetically sealed.
Yeah, that could be the little demon spawn larvae. The face.
First thing Leah will do is actually open up one of the boxes of kitchen stuff.
Yep. It's bok choy.
Just to see if it's okay. It actually is.
I mean,
She'll
it's
actually dump
a bunch of bok choy.
She'll actually dump it out partially, just to see.
Push it over and we'll get right back to you. As Tony and Nord, you pop out with Levi. Woo! Levi says, as the rain is cold. It was humid as hell in that box truck. You can see each of you, and then on her skin as well, this steam rise up from all of you as Levi smiles, big wide smile, looking up at the rain and the thundercloud as she says, "What?" Almost an answer. Thunder grumbles around. Massive storm. Tony, you've been up on the border before, as you can look out now and see some of the water and see Canada out there. There is a black storm. You can tell, even though it's night, it's every so often lightning just angrily rolling, going from west to east in Canada. You can bid to know more about it, but you know that's a pretty gnarly storm.
I will actually bid. I'll bid seasoned.
Bidding seasoned. No pun intended. There's likely hail and snow, perhaps a whiteout going on far to the north, several miles. It's rain here. If it turns, you guys could get some seriously inclement weather really quick. Radical things. Hasn't happened in a really, really, really long time, but every so often, the confluence of that cold, frigid cold, and this rain can cause some pretty wild things. It would be, you would close the border at this point and wouldn't allow people on the water because it could get really bad, especially on the lake itself.
We gotta get this done quick.
You guys are completely soaked. As you're walking down the alleyway, every so often your foot might go into a puddle and it's like, half calf deep. Cold water, 50s to 50 degrees or so, really gnarly, splashes up your leg and hits the taint. Makes you go, "What time?" Like that.
My new suede shoes are ruined.
No. As you take her to Tony, a little bit ways down, maybe a couple 100 feet down this way, see a big old double wide. It's really nice. They've erected a bit of a privacy fence by way of corrugated steel. Nor do you notice these dark green awnings that have been sewn together with duct tape. Amber light coming through a couple of the windows. You hear a TV going on. It'll be, what was playing in 1982? Like the Incredible Hulk, like what?
MASH
Playing. Is going.
Taxi.
Rather loud. There's on top of it a big antenna that's just like poking out. It's 10 feet with all the lightning. Zot, 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 zot. There's just the feeling of, man, there's a lot of metal around. Actions on you guys.
I go up and knock on the door.
Ding, 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 ding. Tony, you know that this is the residence of George and Susan Bolt. Canadians who they dabble in several different things. At the time that you helped them, they were dabbling in
alternative product distribution
and the cocaine. Yeah, they sell everything. They're a little seedy, but not bad people. Ding, 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 ding.
How do you know these guys, Tony?
Where are we?
They owe me.
Levi says. Her hair is matted down her back. It's like slicked back now. She almost looks like a villain, like with this black hair pulled all the way back, completely straight, straightened by all the water. Clothes kind of hanging off. Nord, you can actually see down now that the clothes are hanging and a little bit translucent, the tattoos, and they come up to like her neck and such. Nord, you'll also note, since you had been looking, she has a really gnarly, just the edge, this gnarly scar around her clavicle. You can't see the rest of it, but it's just the top of it every so often when she moves. Just like intense, perhaps a car wreck or something, like a really bad one. Life-threatening style. Where are we?
How'd you get that scar?
She's kind of winking, and her eyes are the makeup's just running off.
We're in the rain. We're taking to a safe house. They were all after you.
They were.
How do you know these guys, Tony?
They've been to my place of business before.
Oh, come on, I'm trying to watch my MASH. Go away.
Do 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 do. Suicide is pain.
Houlihan, wait, get over here.
What?
I said Houlihan can wait.
Ha! What do you bid? Susan, get me a beer. Go fuck yourself.
I bid Callus.
Hey. You bid calloused, and as you yell, Houlihan can wait. Is that Nord? Not Nord. Is that Tony?
Yes, it is.
They know me.
Ah, damn it. You see the lights go off. The TV's still going. Shh. Maybe he'll go away,
This ain't that kind of call.
What's in a boat?
It's about you knowing exactly when I'm going to be working that bridge for the next 6 months.
We don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to tell you.
Hey.
I'm going to tell you when you can drive across for the next 6 months.
The door opens. You see an enormous man, Nord. 6'3", 6'4", built like a lumberjack, wearing stuff a lumberjack might wear. His chest is like just fuzzy. He looks like, is it Tom Fry? Is that who I'm thinking of? You guys know what I'm talking about? The fighter. Anyway, the Paul Bunyan, just this big barrel chest, wiry black hair, suspenders, red plaid shirt that's open, and a mustache. As he looks down at you two, Nord, he looks directly at you since you're pretty tall. What are you always bothering us for, Tony?
Listen.
Who's the broad? I don't know why he's saying that, but he is.
She needs your help. All she needs.
Nice.
I say all she needs is a place to stay. We'll come back and get her.
That's what you said last time.
What?
Fine. Come on in. As you see, there's cans of beer everywhere and MASH is on mute. Actually, no, it's off because he turned off the TV. Turn the lights back on, Susan. You see Susan. Susan looks like she has fiery pink and blue hair. She's definitely into the goth thing, fishnets and whatnot. Complete contrast to this guy. As she comes out of the back with a joint, as she kind of like tucks it, behind real quick. Oh, hey, Tony. Hey, what's this about?
My friend here needs a place to stay. And you need someone that doesn't care what's in your trunk.
Who's this fella?
What's in the trunk, Tony?
Not our trunk.
No, I mean, what's in their trunk? I mean, I think I smell weed. Do I smell weed? Can I buy some weed? Do you guys have weed? I pull out some money. Does anybody here have?
Oh yeah, hon,
some
come
weeds,
back
Coke
here
or something. Yeah,
I'll
go back there.
Nord.
As George looks over. Susan, oh, you have money? Yeah, go in the back. As
Look, I apologize for showing up unannounced, but you also show up to my place of business unannounced, and whatever.
listen, as George sits down and hands you a beer, this is the land of the free, right? I mean, technically, none of us are allowed to be or should be here, right?
I guess.
Right?
Yeah. Give me the beer.
He gives you the beer.
I start drinking it.
You do. Nord, you go in the back. Susan has an array of minor drugs. There's some cocaine. There's some weed. There'll be some lewds. Now, these are special.
The lewds are special? Yeah, they'll knock you right out.
Yeah,
I mean, I think
they're running out.
I'll take some lewds and some coke and
now, how much you got, hon?
I got $50.
Those lewds are quay.
That'll give you that'll give you a little bit. You want just like a little variety pack?
Yeah, a little variety pack would be nice.
Okay, for $50, you're going to be able to get. How about you bid and throw down?
I'm gonna bid because I'm clearly an opium addict. You have any opium?
Leah, roll me a d12 and
I'll bid opium.
Call high or low. Call high or low.
Hey kids, this is how buying drugs works.
High. Because that's what I want.
6.
What was it?
It's a 6?
So that is technically low,
It's
I believe.
a low. Yeah, it's low.
Yeah. And she says, we're all out. George smokes it all.
Well, that sucks. That's what I really want.
As you bid that, go ahead and throw down Nord.
Oh, yeah. But okay. Throwing it, down in it. That is flair, and we don't get flair for just throwing down, right?
Yeah, you do.
We do.
Anytime you throw down.
That's 3.
As you'll get,
Nice.
as she looks at what you're doing, you're like kind of scratching and you're like looking for that opium. Look, I don't have any opium, but all right, you can have 2 of the lewds. She gives you a little dime bag of marijuana.
Nice.
It's not the greatest. It's from Canada.
It's no opium.
It's no opium. And as for the cocaine, I can give you a couple bumps and that's it. And it's like just 2 little snorts.
Well, I will be back with more money when I have more money. If this is any good.
Oh, it's good. The weed, though,
Well, it's so I can go to sleep.
Yeah. In the truck, Leah, they've been gone for 5, maybe 8 minutes. As you're trying to piece this thing together, Simon, Mariah's getting a little antsy. She's moving around, looking out the window, kind of moving, shifting her legs.
Now, BB, we're keeping an eye out, okay?
I know. Just, ugh.
Have you
I'm
seen
ready
anything?
to go. She holds up the gun.
Well, since your mom taught you so well, why don't you tell me the different pieces of the gun?
Oh, yeah, sure. As she starts taking it apart and is telling you far more than I know about guns. You see the clock is 12:15. Leah, you doing anything in there?
Well, yeah, Leah, remember, had dumped over the box of bok choy.
Ah, indeed. As you do. I did, in fact, forget. You see bok choy. And... All right. We need a chaos die for this. Tony, will you roll me a d6?
It is not a 1.
Loads of vegetables, of course, fall out. Few other kinds of vegetables and such, which you're not interested in, carrots and whatnot. And then some meat rolls onto the floor. It's just like a chopped up rounds and with a bone in it and such. And then something strikes you, Leah. It's not refrigerated. It's in the bok choy. As you look down and see a foot and realize, among the other things, these are pieces of bodies.
What the fuck is going on? I don't understand. This makes no sense. Leah will look back at the gun. What do they need a machine gun for? And what's with these? Why are they hiding bodies in them? Were they planning to feed the people to the guests? And what were they? I don't understand. And Leah will like literally just start dumping over all the boxes that are in the truck.
You find lots of vegetables, some potatoes, and body parts. As you're now standing in a bloody mess everywhere, Mariah, hey mom.
Leah will basically go up to the glass and just completely block her view as much as possible.
What do you bid?
For this one, I still have mom. I'm gonna bid mom.
As you leap with great speed, slamming almost into the wall, blocking as Mariah kind of backs away. You need to calm down. Hey, look what I showed Simon as she's holding gun parts.
Wow, that's impressive. You've learned quite a lot. I'm proud of you.
Simon, Leah looks...
Is everything okay back there?
Leah will sort of give him a wide-eyed glance and just
having bid mom, you can communicate something to him that goes over Mariah's head.
Oh, there was just some odd meat back here that they had packed in with the vegetables.
Oh, is it long pig?
Yeah.
Long pig?
Yeah,
They also had I think it's a machine gun back here for some reason.
A machine gun? No way. As Mariah goes to the door to like unlock it.
No.
I want to see.
No. Hey, I need you to stay in there for now, okay?
Why?
Because I don't know what else they have back here, and I really don't. I don't know how safe it is. I mean, I don't even know if I should be back here.
And she
But I'm
gives
going
you
to try
a
and
look.
piece this together while I can.
Fine. I'm going to put this gun back together.
You should do that. And don't forget the firing pin.
Oh, damn it.
Do any of them have any... So the long pig, does it have any name tags or anything on it?
She kind of
No.
looks up, scrunches her face together. What the?
Yeah, sometimes these rich folk like to keep the the number tags that they have on the pigs, so that way they can tell which farm it came from.
I guess that makes sense.
They're like boar. You know what a boar is? A bigger
No.
pig.
Bigger pig?
Yeah, that's why
It's
they
like a
call
fat
them
pig.
long. Yeah, that's why they call them long pigs.
Huh. she's putting this together.
But anyway, I'm going to keep on looking to see what the hell else is back here.
Simon, as you turn around, you notice that there's some snowflakes sliding down the windshield.
They need to hurry up. The weather's getting bad out here.
Leah, the door's open. The two doors to the back are open. A pretty harsh chill comes in. Like that good 15, 20 degree weather. Oh, that's winter.
Oh, yeah.
In the
I'd be feeling
double
that right
wide,
now.
Nord, you've been given the droogs, and you're sitting there smoking a doobie with Susan. Yeah, well, anyway, Tony, he kind of let us off the hook that one time, and he kind of looked the other way.
That's really cool. This girl we brought in, will you take care of her? And
What do you mean take care of her?
No, I just keep she's kind of on a bender. So I mean, I think you keep her smoking weed all night. Just keep her happy and
Sure.
I'll give her an extra $20.
Okay.
Just keep her happy tonight. Her boyfriend has been after her, and you know how it is.
Yeah.
And so that is we just need to, get her mind off of things. It's just been too intense at home. So whatever you can do to just kind of keep her out of it, give her some space, give her a little peace of mind.
What's her name?
Levi, I think.
Levi?
Levi.
What? Wait, hold on. That's Levi?
Levi Smith. It's Levi Smith. It's not the same Levi. They're
She
different
rushes
Levi.
past you. George, do you know who that is? Tony, you see Susan pop out the door, like little swing door, warp, warp, as this goth chick pops out. Nord is back there holding a bag of drugs. Do you know who that is, George? He's like, who is it? That's Levi. Levi Smith. That's not. How did I not recognize you? Oh, I've seen her. She's amazing. That's not Levi Smith. That's Levi Merck.
Well, anyway, she's had a tough night. So
Levi kind of looks over. As she looks a lot less stoned, but still her eyes are a little bit wide. And she's slicking back her hair and has a towel. She's wringing it out. I just got this done.
Take care of her tonight. Tony, we should get out of here.
Are you all leaving?
Huh?
Levi turns around. Are you all leaving? We just got the party started.
We got some stuff to do. We just wanted to make sure you were in a safe place after the mob from earlier.
I appreciate that. I don't remember a mob. Do you know what time it is?
It's after midnight.
It's about time we have to go. Look, you'll be safe here.
Go on.
I look at George and I say, when we get back, I'll give you a schedule.
Nord looks at I think it's about 10:30.
10:30? There's no way, honey. It's 10:30. I was about to go on.
I don't have a watch. Well, I think that's ended. The club was on fire when we left.
So I missed my show.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Well,
I suppose every 1,000 years. Once in a blue moon, they say. Well, I suppose they won't hold it too much against me.
Yeah, you just weren't in a good place for some reason, and we wanted to make sure you guys were safe. It looks like you're in good hands now.
Well, thank you.
guys
She
have a good
accepts a
night.
beer and sits down. You got mash in this thing? As you guys leave the double wide. This is where we shall take a break.
Break it up.
Break it up. Break it up. Do you want to do a 9-minute break, and we'll come back at, what is it, 9:20?
Number 9.
Number 9. Sound good?
Yep.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll be back in 9 minutes.
So that would be 9:20, and by back in 9 minutes, we would like to thank you,
Thank you.
us members of DreadLore and the Red Writ
The
for
Red Writ.
participating in
Red
part one
Writ.
of DreadLore's The Red Writ, a role-playing game that we play every Monday night at 7 p.m. EST, 7 on Twitch.
Oh.
Thanks, Cass, Bill, Andrea, Daniel, Drizzle, and Ken. Score is by all
Mr.
lowercase
Interrupt.
letters and Mr. Interrupt.
All
Thanks to our
lowercase letters.
Patreon members, Tim Roberts, Daniel Holker, and Nostalgic. We need more Patreon members because
More.
everything costs money. So please think about it. Participate. Thanks, Couchfire Media, for the art media, and thanks for the stories and the lore and the dread from Trois Riblé Productions. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with the Red Writ.
The
and
Red
part
Writ.
2.
I
Yeet.